Welcome to Physics Power channel. Now I am going to explain few topics in moving charges and magnetism lesson. This lesson is also called as magnetic effect of current. So magnetic effect of current means the current carrying conductor produces magnetic field. So those topics I will explain in this video. The first one is Biot-Savart's law. So after Oersted identified one effect, that is current carrying conductor producing magnetic field around it. Afterwards, Ampere gave the direction of magnetic induction produced by the current carrying conductor. Next, Biot and Savart both together derived one expression. With respect to that expression, we can get the magnetic induction produced by any current carrying conductor, what it may be the shape. Means by using this one, we can get the magnetic induction produced by straight current carrying conductor and as well as circular coil and as well as rectangular different kind. Let us see Ampere's law details I will explain. Biot-Savart's law applications what I mentioned just now, straight current carrying conductor and circular current carrying coil, and few numericals in Biot-Savart's law application. Means one problem as an example problem in the topic straight current carrying conductor. Here straight current carrying conductor is having two topics. One is finite current carrying conductor and another one is infinite current carrying conductor. First I derived finite current carrying conductor and afterwards I converted that one, means I applied and finally I derived the expression for infinite current carrying conductor, and those cases also discussed clearly. And in second application, that is magnetic induction at a point on circular current carrying coil. So for that also different cases are there, means at a point on the axis and as well as at the center of the coil. In both the cases I derived the expression and as well as I explained numericals also. Magnetic field produced by a current carrying conductor. This is very interesting topic in physics. This is first discovered by Oersted. Unfortunately, when he is doing experiment with a current carrying conductor, he placed a deflection magnetometer very near to the current carrying conductor and he observed the deflection in the magnetometer. So with respect to that, he identified that magnetic field is associated with an electric current. This is the discovery of the Oersted. Later on, Ampere and as well as Biot and Savart performed a series of experiments to study the magnetic field produced by various current carrying conductors. Ampere gave the direction of magnetic field produced by the current carrying conductor, and these two people, Biot and Savart, studied about different shaped current carrying conductors and in which way they will give the magnetic field, what are the factors affecting the magnetic field produced by the different shaped current carrying conductors, like finite current carrying conductor, infinite current carrying conductor and current carrying circular coils. Let us see one by one. Biot-Savart's law. So Biot and Savart studied about the magnetic induction produced by the different current carrying elements. Consider one current carrying element, say an arbitrary element, for example xy. Now due to this current carrying element, what is the magnetic induction at a point P which is at a distance r from a particular length element dl. So now our aim to analyze the magnetic induction produced by a small current carrying element dl. For suppose this dl element is at a distance r from the point, or the point is at a distance r from the length element, small, very small length element, and as well as that length element is making an angle theta with the radius vector r, for suppose. Now they studied about this current carrying element and they identified four factors affecting the magnetic induction produced at this point. So those are, so according to Biot and Savart, the magnetic induction produced by this small dl current carrying element the magnetic induction dB is directly proportional to the current I flowing through the conductor. If you pass more current, then the magnetic induction produced at that point will be more. If you decrease the current, then magnetic induction also decreased, that they identified. So mathematically we can write like this: dB, magnetic induction produced by small dl element proportional to I, that is magnitude of current. And second factor, the magnetic induction dB is directly proportional to the length element dl. Mathematically we can represent, that is dB proportional to dl, means if you consider more length element, means current carrying conductor length is more, then the magnetic induction produced at that point will be more. So means directly proportional. The third factor they identified, the magnetic induction produced by the dl element dB is directly proportional to the sine of the angle between the length element and radius vector, that is which is joining the dl and point P. So here you can observe the theta is the angle between dl length element and as well as radius vector r. So here the magnetic induction dB is directly proportional to the sine of the angle between these two, dl and r. So that we can mention like this: dB, the magnetic induction due to small dl current carrying element proportional to sine of the angle between dl and r. And fourth factor, that is inversely proportional to the magnetic induction produced by dl element, current carrying element, is inversely proportional to the square of the distance r from the point P to the length element. So that mathematically we can represent, that is dB proportional to 1 by r square, means if you consider the point very near to the current carrying conductor, then the magnetic induction will be more at that point. If you consider the point little bit away, then the magnetic induction produced by the current carrying element will decreases, that is dB, that is inversely proportional to square of the distance. So collectively we can write all four factors in one equation, that is dB proportional to I dl sin theta by r square. So here the proportionality we can remove and we can introduce a proportionality constant. So Biot and Savarts introduce a proportionality constant, so that is mu naught by 4 pi. So the final expression will be dB, the magnetic induction due to the small current carrying element dl, that is dB equals to mu naught by 4 pi into I dl sin theta by r square. So this is the expression they studied and they gave finally. With this expression we can get many details about the current carrying element's magnetic induction. For example, the current carrying conductor is a straight line, the current carrying conductor is a square, the current carrying conductor is a circular loop. For what it may be, we can get the magnetic induction produced by those current carrying elements. Now this equation we can analyze further. For that, first, mu naught by 4 pi is a proportionality constant. In that proportionality constant, mu naught is the permeability of the medium. Actually mu is the permeability of the medium, mu naught is the permeability of the free space. So here permeability is the ratio between magnetic induction to the magnetic field intensity. So that value, mu naught by 4 pi value, is 10 to the power of minus 7, or mu naught value 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7. The unit is Weber per ampere meter. So same, this equation we can represent in vector notation also. In vector form, the magnetic induction, for example dB bar, actually magnetic field is a vector, so that is why we can represent in vector form also. So for that purpose they just added r cap. So this is the magnitude we analyzed. Now r cap is the direction of magnetic induction, that is along the radius vector. Now here r cap is the unit vector. Instead of unit vector, we can write according to the definition of unit vector, that is vector by magnitude of the vector. Unit vector means vector by magnitude of the vector. So if you write dB bar equals to mu naught by 4 pi into ideal sin theta by r square into, instead of r cap, r bar by r. Now denominator r into r square, it will be r cube. So we can write dB bar equals to mu naught by 4 pi into denominator r cube, and as well as the remaining part I dl I as usual. So dl r sin theta. So these three collectively we can write dl bar cross r bar. So it is a vector. So here cross product represents the resultant as a vector. So remaining all constants. So dB bar vector we can represent as a resultant vector of dl bar cross r bar. So this one as a notation we can write like this also, that is with bold letters, dB with bold letters. In some books they are indicating the vector with bold letter. So here dB indicates the vector, dl and r vector, remaining as usual scalars. So we can observe in some books like this also. Now direction. So here according to the cross product, the resultant vector of two vectors definitely will be perpendicular to the plane containing the two vectors. So here dl and as well as r, two vectors are in the plane of the display. So the resultant of these two vectors, cross product of these two vectors, definitely perpendicular to the display, either inward or outward. That we can decide by using our right hand grip rule. So that you learned already in class level, but once as a recap, if you can keep your right hand fingers in the plane of dl, means your four fingers of your right hand should coincide with the dl length element direction, and if you close your fingers towards r bar, then if you close, then thumb indicates the direction that is inward. So that means here the magnetic induction at point P will be inward to the display. So here that inward we are indicating with into symbol. Here you can see the into symbol. So into or into completely closed with a circle. So that is the indication in magnetic field, that is magnetic field going inward. One more notation is there. If one dot and the dot is circled, that means the magnetic induction is perpendicular to the display but is outward. So inward means we are indicating with into, and that is into will be circled, and just as a dot and a dot circled means that magnetic induction outward. So here according to right hand grip rule, so if you close your fingers by keeping along dl and closing towards r in radius vector, then thumb indicates inward. So here magnetic induction inward. Next, Ampere's right hand thumb rule, or Ampere's law, we can call as Ampere's circuital law. So that you can observe. So Ampere circuital law means it gives the direction of magnetic field produced by the current carrying conductor. So that you can see according to the diagram. So if you can keep the right hand thumb in the direction of current carrying conductor direction, then the curling of fingers indicates the magnetic field direction. So here you can see in the diagram. So the thumb indicates the current direction, then the curling of fingers gives the magnetic field. Means around the current carrying conductor as a curl round, you will get the magnetic induction. Means the magnetic field direction continuously will change. So at a particular point, if you want magnetic induction, you have to imagine a tangent at the magnetic line. So the magnetic field always tangent to the magnetic field lines. So everywhere you can get the magnetic induction just by taking the tangent. So here the magnetic field direction always changes, and as well as that magnetic field is always perpendicular to the radius vector. So for example, if you consider a point at this point, then this is the radius. The radius always perpendicular to the magnetic field. Why? Because here if you want magnetic field, you have to take the tangent. So the tangent always perpendicular to the radius vector. So keep it in mind. This point is useful to analyze the next coming topic. So again I am repeating, the magnetic field direction or magnetic induction direction, the tangent, is perpendicular to the radius vector or radius. This is Ampere's law. So here Ampere's law gives the magnetic field direction due to the straight current carrying conductor. So mathematically we can represent, so according to Ampere, the curling magnetic field. So closed integral of B bar dot dl bar, that is nothing but magnetic induction produced around the current carrying conductor, is proportional to the current passing through the conductor. The proportionality constant is mu naught. So mu naught times the current passing through the conductor. Magnetic induction around the current carrying conductor is mu naught times the current passing through the conductor. That is Ampere's law. Now application of Biot-Savart's law. So magnetic induction due to a straight current carrying conductor. So consider a current carrying conductor. For example, I is the current passing through the conductor. Now due to this current carrying conductor, at a point which is at a distance d, perpendicular distance from the finite current carrying conductor, the magnetic induction. So here according to the current direction, the magnetic field will be inward, that we already studied. Now what is the magnetic induction and what are the factors affecting the magnetic induction due to this finite current carrying conductor? For that, consider small dy element. If you consider small dy element, then you can apply Biot-Savart's law. So Biot-Savart analyzed for small dl element. Afterwards, by integrating, we can get the complete picture. So for that purpose, the small dy element consider from the midpoint of this current carrying conductor, let it be y. From the midpoint to the dy length element, for example, the distance is y, and alpha and beta are the angles made by the line elements joining the ends. So if it is the midpoint, alpha beta are same. In some other cases, alpha beta will be different. So here both are same, but even then just we are indicating with alpha and beta. And the dl element is very small in such a way that it is, we can analyze as a point dot. Then from the dot to the point P, if you join, that is the dy element is at a distance r from the point P, and here the angle made by the dy and r is theta, as usual, as like Biot-Savart's law. And one more, so here the radius vector and the perpendicular is making an angle phi, for suppose. Then according to Biot-Savart's law, the magnetic induction at point P due to the small length element dy is dB equals to mu naught by 4 pi into I dy sin theta by r square. So in previous, as a definition, we analyzed as a dl. Now instead of dl, just dy. So dB equals to mu naught by 4 pi into I dy sin theta by r square. Now further, the magnetic induction due to the entire conductor, if you want, we have to integrate. So actually integration from the limits we will analyze first, only integration if you study. So B equals to integral dB. So the small magnetic induction at B due to dy element, if you integrate, you will get the total magnetic induction. So if you substitute dB, so here mu naught constant, 4 pi constant we can write outside, and as well as I also a constant, so we can write outside. So then remaining integral dy sin theta by r square. Further, from the diagram we can consider tan phi. So here one triangle, just I am showing with the laser point. So in this triangle tan phi equals to, so tan means opposite side by adjacent side, so nothing but y by d. So from this we can consider y equals to d tan alpha. So here dy small element is there. To analyze the dy element I consider y from the diagram. Now if you differentiate this expression y equals to d tan phi, so if you differentiate, y will become dy, then d constant into tan phi on differentiation secant square phi and phi differentiation d phi. So with respect to the differentiation we will get expression like this. Now we can substitute dy here and we can analyze further. So before that, here secant square phi also we can analyze from the diagram. So secant phi nothing but it is the reciprocal of cos. So cos nothing but opposite by, sorry, adjacent by hypotenuse. So secant means reciprocal. So hypotenuse by adjacent. So here same triangle if you consider, secant phi equals to hypotenuse by adjacent. So that is why r by d. So from this we can write r equals to d secant phi. So instead of r and instead of dy we can write these two expressions, then we will get the equation b equals to mu naught I by 4 pi as usual. Instead of dy, d secant square phi d phi into sin theta as usual, by denominator instead of r square d square secant square phi. Now we can get cancel secant square phi and d, and in d square get cancelled. So then the resultant expression will be simplified. But one more thing, so here instead of theta we can write 90 degrees minus phi. So here theta phi and here it is a perpendicular 90 degrees. So 90 plus theta plus phi equals to 180 degrees, or here theta equals to, we can write 90 minus phi. So from the triangle we can consider theta equals to 90 minus phi. So that also we can substitute here, then the expression will become b equals to mu naught I by 4 pi into, so here secant square get cancelled and d square get cancelled, only d available, and sine instead of theta 90 degrees minus phi. Now further sine 90 minus phi cos phi, and d is a constant, so we can write outside. And before that, so I said limits we did not take. So here now we can analyze the limits also. D phi is the integration element now. Now due to the integration element we will get the limits now. So here if you consider dy element at this edge, then you will start from beta, and if you go up to this end, then you will get the element up to alpha. So but with respect to midpoint, if you analyze, alpha is in clockwise direction but beta is in anti-clockwise direction. So then we can analyze, means this phi we analyzed with respect to the midpoint. So with respect to the perpendicular line, so beta is in anti-clockwise direction angle measure, so that is why minus beta, and it is in clockwise, alpha measurable in clockwise with respect to this perpendicular distance, so that is why it's a positive value. So we can apply the limits minus beta to alpha, so d phi and cos phi by d, so that d we can write outside. So in the next step, if you write like that, then b equals to mu naught I by 4 pi d into integral minus beta to alpha cos phi d phi. Now integral cos phi nothing but sin phi, so b equals to mu naught I by 4 pi d into sin phi with limits alpha and minus beta. Now if you substitute the limits, first upper limit, next lower limit. If you substitute the upper limit, then B equals to mu naught I by 4 pi d into first if you substitute alpha sin alpha minus if you substitute minus beta then minus sin beta. So for lower limit minus will be there and as well as in angle minus is there. Now sin minus theta minus sin theta. So this one we can write as minus sin beta. So minus minus get cancelled, it will be plus. So the expression will be B equals to mu naught I by 4 pi d into sin alpha plus sin beta. So this is the expression for magnetic induction due to finite current carrying conductor. Now further we can analyze as the special cases. For suppose if the wire is of infinite length and the point P lies at a distance d from the wire as shown in the figure. For suppose if the wire is infinity then the angle measurable one will become, so both will meet at this infinity means both will meet at infinite distance, so both will be parallel. So here these two parallel means angle with respect to perpendicular is 90 degrees. So here alpha will be 90 degrees as well as beta also 90 degrees. So if you substitute both alpha beta values then mu naught I by 4 pi d into sin 90 plus sin 90. Sin 90 degrees value 1, so 1 plus 1 2. So 2 get cancelled the 4 by 2 times, so then expression will be B equals to mu naught I by 2 pi d. So this is the magnetic induction due to infinite current carrying conductor. Due to the infinite current carrying conductor at a point P which is at a distance d, the magnetic induction will be mu naught I by 2 pi d. So the magnetic induction proportional to magnitude of the current. So that is anyway analyzed point. So now inversely proportional to distance only, not square of the distance. So according to the Biot-Savart's law, the magnetic induction produced by the infinite current carrying conductor at a particular distance, the magnetic induction is inversely proportional to the distance. That we can analyze like this. So B inversely proportional to 1 by d, that you can analyze as a graph. If the point is very near then magnetic induction will be more, as we are going away from the current carrying conductor then magnetic induction decreases because it is inversely proportional. Next, Ampere's law. So that mathematical expression integral B bar dot dl bar equals to mu naught I, that we can derive by using Biot-Savart's law. So that is, so according to Ampere's law, if thumb indicates the current direction, the magnetic induction produced by the current carrying element is mu naught times the current passing through the conductor. So for that purpose, for example, consider a point P at a particular distance L from the current carrying conductor. So here already D. Now for example, the point we consider at a distance L, then according to Biot-Savart's law we can write B equals to mu naught I by 2 pi L. Now for example, if we shift that 2 pi L towards left side, then it will be B into 2 pi L equals to mu naught I. Now this 2 pi L we can write integral dl. For example, this total circular element you can consider as a small dl elements, number of elements, it gives the total 2 pi L. Then integration of dl you will get total 2 pi L. So here dl is the small element of the circle, if you integrate you will get total 2 pi L. So we can write entire B into 2 pi L as B bar dot dl bar with closed integration. So this is the Ampere's law. Next, one example problem. An infinitely long conductor carries a current of 100 milliampere. Find the magnetic induction at a point 10 centimeter away from it. So given data, current I equals to 100 milliampere. So milli means 10 to the power of minus 3. So 100 into 10 to the power of minus 3 and nothing but 10 to the power of minus 1 ampere, and as well as distance d 10 centimeter. So here centi means 10 to the power of minus 2. So that is why total 10 to the power of minus 1. So distance 10 to the power of minus 1 and current also 10 to the power of minus 1 ampere. According to the Biot-Savart's law formula, the magnetic induction due to infinite long wire, that is B equals to mu naught I by 2 pi d. So in that mu naught value nothing but 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7. So if you substitute 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7 into current 10 to the power of minus 1 and 2 pi as usual and the distance 10 to the power of minus 1. Now if you get cancelled 10 to the power of minus 1 and as well as pi also get cancelled. So if you get cancelled pi and 2 divides 2 times, then the resultant will be 2 into 10 to the power of minus 7 Tesla. So all are MK system of units, so Tesla or Weber per meter square. So this is the answer, that is magnetic induction due to infinite current carrying conductor at a distance 10 to the power of minus 1 meter. Next, the magnetic induction inside a current carrying conductor. So far we discussed the magnetic induction outside due to a current carrying conductor. For example, the current carrying conductor is having certain cross section area and certain radius. Then what is the magnetic induction inside? And what are the factors affecting the magnetic induction inside the current carrying conductor? To get those details, we should know the little bit clarity about the current and all. So here current means, generally we are discussing about uniform flow. So the current passing through the entire conductor, but it is uniform means current passing through a particular area is a constant, means that we are calling as current density. So current density J we are representing, that is current passing through unit area is a constant for a uniform flow. So if you consider any area, so there will be a particular quantity of current flowing through that one. You can compare with a current water flow in a particular pipe. If you consider low cross sectional pipe, then less amount of water will flow. If you consider bigger pipe, it can take more amount of flow. So here the water flow depends upon cross sectional area of the pipe. Similarly, here also the current is proportional to the cross sectional area, but the current density, here water flow as a particular constant, water only will flow. So similarly here for a uniform flow of current, the current density, current passing through unit cross sectional area is same for a uniform flow. So as current density constant, if you consider the entire current carrying conductor, for example with R radius, then current density is a fixed one. If you consider small radius element also, for example cross sectional area pi small r square, if you consider smaller one also, the current will be different, but current passing through that area will be a constant. So the enclosed, for example with respect to smaller J enclosed, if you consider the small radius, so the current density due to the enclosed part and current density due to entire conductor, both should be same for uniform flow. So that we can write according to the definition, the I enclosed by area pi small r square equals to the total current passing through the conductor by total area of the conductor, that is pi capital R square. Now current passing through the considered element R radius element, then that is I enclosed equals to small I R square by capital R square. Now further, now to get the magnetic induction at a point P inside the current carrying element, so consider the point P at a distance small r, then the magnetic induction according to Biot-Savart's law, the magnetic induction at P due to current carrying conductor is B equals to mu naught I by 2 pi d. It's a general expression from the derivation, but if you apply here, the current is I enclosed and the distance of point P from the axis of the current carrying conductor is smaller. So if you substitute both, for magnetic induction at inside point B is mu naught I enclosed by 2 pi r. But I enclosed we analyzed in the previous slide, that is I enclosed equals to I r square by capital R square. If you substitute I enclosed expression in this equation, you will get B equals to, therefore B equals to mu naught into, instead of I enclosed, I r square by capital R square by 2 pi r. Now further, if you simplify, r square r get cancelled, then the remaining expression will be B equals to mu naught I r by 2 pi r square. So here r square get cancelled, then only r at numerator, capital R square at denominator. So according to this expression, we can conclude that magnetic induction at a point inside the current carrying conductor is proportional to length element, proportional to the radius. As radius increases, the magnetic induction also increases. So from the axis of the current carrying conductor to, if you go up to the surface, the magnetic induction increases. So according to this formula, the magnetic induction is maximum on the surface of the current carrying conductor and on the axis r equals to 0. So magnetic induction 0 at the axis. So these 2 points are very important that we can analyze according to the graph also. So you can see here the magnetic induction is maximum when the distance is capital R, means on the surface, that is mu naught I by 2 pi r. If you go outside, we already analyzed, that is B inversely proportional to the distance, but inside the magnetic induction B is proportional to the distance. Hence we can conclude the magnetic induction at a point inside the current carrying wire is directly proportional to the distance from the center of the wire to the point. Namaste students, this is Chalapati, faculty in physics. Now I am going to explain the details about Biot-Savart's law and one of the application of Biot-Savart's law, that is magnetic induction at a point on the axis of a current carrying circular loop, and few problems in that topic. Before going to the topic, so let me show the current carrying coil physically. So for example, consider a current carrying coil. For suppose the current passing in this coil, for example, you can see the circular loop, but according to the diagram in the topic, it will be perpendicular to the display. And the current I consider in the diagram, so here at the top of the circular coil, current coming outward, that is outward to the display, and at the bottom current going inward, means with respect to me the current is in clockwise direction. Now you can apply Ampere's law. According to Ampere's law, you can analyze the current direction due to this circular current carrying coil. So here I said current direction coming outward. So if you apply the right hand thumb rule, then thumb direction is the current direction, then curling of fingers coming like this, means the magnetic lines of force going in this direction, means here it will be north pole, this side it will be south pole. Okay, it is acting like a bar magnet. Now our topic, at the center magnetic induction we have to find out. For example, here the yellow point just consider as the center, and another yellow point is there. At that point we want to measure the magnetic induction. That is the topic. Okay, now the major point you have to analyze, that is from this point the current carrying coil, any point will be at same distance. Say for example, at this point we have to find out the magnetic induction. That point is at same distance from any point on the circular loop. Okay, that is one important point. And one more, so according to this wire, for example, this is the radius vector. That radius vector always perpendicular to the length element of the coil. Here the length element and coil, you can see say length element and coil, both will be perpendicular every time. So here the angle will be perpendicular. Why? Because this coil we kept perpendicular to the display and we are observing at a particular point here. So everywhere, if you consider a small length element, that length element will make 90 degrees with the radius vector what we consider from the length element to the point P. Let us go to the video. Next, magnetic field at an axial point of a current carrying conductor. It is the application of Biot-Savart's law. So it's a very important application. So consider a current carrying loop or current carrying coil. For example, I is the current passing through this coil. So this coil, so according to the diagram, it is looking like in the plane. Actually it is perpendicular to the plane, means perpendicular to the display. For example, current passing direction you can see in the diagram. So with respect to point P, if you observe, the current passing in anti-clockwise direction. For suppose, due to this current carrying conductor, our aim to identify the magnetic induction at a point P which is at a distance x from the center. For example, consider a point P and that is at a distance r from any length element small dl considered on the circular current carrying conductor. So entire current carrying conductor, imagine it consists of n number of dl elements, means we can divide into n number of dl elements. So one of the dl element is at a distance r, means all length elements dl elements will be at the same distance. Why? Because this is a circular coil and it is perpendicular to the display. So that is why all points on the circular current carrying conductor is at same distance with P, and the line joining the dl and point P is making an angle alpha with the axis of the circular coil. And consider A is the radius of the circular coil. Then you can analyze the current I producing magnetic induction in the direction you can see PM, in the direction of PM. So that also you can analyze with respect to Ampere's law. For example, here I said already this circular coil is in the plane perpendicular to the display. So that means this dl element is perpendicularly outward or just inward, you can say anything. So according to the current, for example, dl element you can consider as according to the current direction. For example, dl element is perpendicularly outward or perpendicular to the display. That means dl and r both are perpendicular to each other. Now due to this current carrying element dl at point P, the magnetic induction direction according to Ampere's law. So that you can see in the previous diagram also I mentioned. So just analyze according to Ampere's law. For example, current passing in this direction, then so current carrying conductor producing the magnetic field around the current carrying conductor. For example, I is the current. Now you can imagine n number of circular magnetic lines. For example, one circular magnetic line is making an angle r for suppose. Then the radius vector and the direction of magnetic field if you analyze. So consider a point here. The magnetic induction is perpendicularly outward. So here if you observe the magnetic field perpendicularly inward. So that means the direction of magnetic field always makes angle 90 degrees with the radius vector. So here magnetic field perpendicularly inward, with the radius it is making an angle 90 degrees. So here the radius vector, here r is the radius vector, it should make an angle 90 degrees with the magnetic field. So here is the magnetic field should make angle 90 degrees. So now observe carefully. So here already alpha angle we considered, and consider it is a y-axis. So that means with respect to axis of the circular coil, the total angle 90 degrees, x-axis and y-axis, so angle should be 90 degrees, it is alpha, so the remaining angle is 90 minus alpha. And as well as with this radius vector, magnetic field making an angle 90 degrees, and that the angle is 90 minus alpha, so remaining angle it should be alpha. So that means the magnetic field produced by the current carrying element dl making an angle alpha with the y-axis. So here dB is making an angle alpha with the y-axis, so it will be resolved into two components. One is adjacent component, that is dB cos alpha, and another one is dB sin alpha along x-axis. Now for this dl element we can consider exactly opposite element, or for each dl element opposite element will be there. So for each dl element exactly opposite dl element will be there. So here if you consider opposite dl element, so here current coming outward, so here current will go inward. So now apply Ampere's law here also, so here current going inward. So with respect to this current inward means, just imagine, keep your thumb perpendicularly inward to the display, then curling of fingers will come in the direction Pn. So that means magnetic induction produced by this current carrying element dl here will produce magnetic induction along Pn, that is also dB. So here for our convenience here representing dB dash, but that is also dB. Now so that dB is also will make an angle alpha, same like. So here we consider this is as alpha, so then remaining it will be 90 minus alpha, and this radius vector and the magnetic field direction should make 90 degrees. So this is already 90 minus alpha, so this should be alpha. Now this dB should make components. So along y-axis dB cos alpha, along x-axis that is dB sin alpha. Okay. Now here with respect to this dl element, the magnetic induction along y-axis is dB cos alpha. So with respect to this dl element here, what you consider here, so with respect to this dl element, the magnetic induction will come along negative y-axis, so both will be get cancelled. That means every time due to this dl element exactly opposite dl element will be there, so both will be get cancelled. So that means the magnetic field you will get every time along x-axis only, that is dB sin alpha. So due to dl element you will get magnetic induction dB sin alpha, that is only along x-axis. That means due to this current carrying element, the total magnetic induction you will get every time along x-axis as like a bar magnet placed along x-axis. So this is equivalent to the bar magnet. So let us see further quantity of dB. For that, consider Biot-Savart's law. According to Biot-Savart's law, the magnetic induction produced by the current carrying element small dl, that is dB equals to mu naught by 4 pi into I into dl cross r bar by r cube. So it is a vector form I consider, and here the angle between dl bar and r bar, that is 90 degrees, and as well as here r. So r is the hypotenuse to the triangle. For example, consider triangle POC. So according to this triangle, hypotenuse r equals to square root of a square plus x square. So we can write r equals to square root of a square plus x square, or a square plus x square whole power 1 by 2. And the angle between dl and r bar is 90 degrees. So if you substitute that one here, or if you analyze individually dl bar cross r bar, so that is dl r sin 90 degrees. So sin 90 degrees value 1, so that is why only dl r. So that is only magnitude. So here I want to give the expression only in magnitude, so that is why direction I am not considering now. Further, if you substitute instead of dl bar cross r bar only dl r in the expression and as well as r value, you will get first magnetic induction due to that small dl element, that is dB equals to mu naught by 4 pi into I dl bar cross r bar instead of that dl r by r cube. So here r here cube get cancelled, only square will be there. Further, you will get dB equals to mu naught I dl by 4 pi r square. Further, the magnetic induction along x-axis. So here we already analyzed, that is, the resultant current carrying coil will produce magnetic field only along x-axis. Y components will be get cancelled every time. So that magnetic induction due to this small dl element is dB sin alpha, not dB according to Biot-Savart's law, dB expression, but according to the circular current carrying coil, due to this dl element, the magnetic induction will be dB sin alpha. So if you want the total value, you have to integrate. So B, total magnetic induction, equals to integral dB sin alpha. So instead of dB, if you write this expression, then it will be integral mu naught by 4 pi into I dl by r square into sin alpha. Now further, instead of sin alpha, from the diagram we can consider, so same triangle what we considered previously, POC. In that triangle, sin alpha equals to opposite side A by hypotenuse R. So sin t alpha equals to A by R. So that we substitute in this expression. Same expression I consider. Now instead of sin alpha A by R, if you substitute, then B equals to mu naught I by 4 pi into integral dl by r square into, instead of sin alpha A by R, now r into r square r cube, and this r cube is a fixed value, so we can write outside also. So then finally we can write all constant, A is constant, r cube is constant. If you write outside, then B equals to mu naught IA by 4 pi r cube into, only dl is a small element, if you integrate you will get the total element. So integral dl. For a circular coil we consider small dl element, if you integrate you will get the entire circumference of the circular coil. So circumference of the circular coil with radius a, that is 2 pi a. So integral dl will be 2 pi a. So if you substitute that value, and as well as instead of r cube, so r expression we got already, so r cube means a square plus x square whole power 3 by 2. So we already analyzed, here r means square root of a square plus x square, or a square plus x square whole power 1 by 2. So that 1 by 2 whole cube, r cube is there, so whole cube means whole power 3 by 2 you will get. Now if you substitute r cube value and as well as integral dl value in the equation, B equals to, if you substitute dl value and r cube value, so dl value 2 pi a and r cube value a square plus x square whole power 3 by 2. So further we can simplify, pi get cancelled and 2 divided 4 by 2 times, so the final expression will be B equals to mu naught I a square by 2 into a square plus x square whole power 3 by 2. So this is the magnetic induction produced by the current carrying coil at a point which is at a distance x from the center. Now different cases also we can analyze now, but before that, what we discussed one point, the direction of magnetic induction along the axis of the loop. So that is why we can treat this current carrying coil as a bar magnet. Now different cases, for example, if there are n number of turns, here this is a circular coil we analyze, for example the circular coil is having 2 turns, then you will get 2 times of this magnetic induction. For example there are 3 turns, you will get 3 into this value. If there are n turns, you will get n into this value. So n into this value means, simply we can write B equals to mu naught n into I a square by 2 into a square plus x square whole power 3 by 2. So this is the magnetic induction due to the current carrying coil of n number of turns. Next, now as a case 1, magnetic induction at the center of the loop or coil. So at the center, if you consider a point at a distance x, then x value will be defined. If you consider the point on the center, that means x will be 0. So if x is 0, then the magnetic induction at the center So this is the derived formula, in that x will be 0. If you substitute x value 0, then you will get mu naught n I a square by 2 into a square plus instead of x 0 square whole power 3 by 2. So a square plus 0 square means a square. So a square whole power 3 by 2. So now further here a square square and whole power 3 by 2 get cancelled, so the denominator only a cube. So b equals to mu naught n I a square by 2a cube. Again here a square square and cube get cancelled, then finally we will get magnetic induction b equals to mu naught n I by 2a. So this is the magnetic induction due to circular current carrying coil at the center, which is having n number of turns. Case 2. If you consider the point on the axis which is at a long distance, that means x is very much greater than a, means as compared with the radius of the coil, the point considered is at a far distance, then the magnetic induction. So this is the derived formula. So in that x is very high, so then a square can be neglected. If you neglect, then you will get the numerator as usual. So denominator 2 into, if you remove a square, then x square whole power 3 by 2. So here x square square and this 2 get cancelled. So you will get magnetic induction B equals to mu naught Ni a square by 2x cube. But here we can multiply this expression with pi and we can divide with pi. If you do like this, then here pi a square. So here a means radius of the coil. So pi a square will represents the area. So therefore we can write B equals to mu naught Ni a by 2 pi x cube. So that means here magnetic induction depends upon one more parameter that we can analyze, that is proportional to area of the coil. If you design small cross-sectional area coil, then you will get a small magnetic induction. If you want more magnetic induction, you should pass more amount of current, and the number of turns you should make more, and as well as the area also should be more. And the point, if you want magnetic induction more, the point you have to consider very near to the coil. So that is inversely proportional to cube of the distance. So here A nothing but area of the loop or coil. Next, the magnetic field B varies non-linearly with distance. Why? Because here B inversely proportional to x cube. So it is not following a proportionality relation. So we can represent with a graph like this. So at the center, we came to know that at the center x0, if you substitute denominator, reduce, so the value will be more. So at the center of the coil, magnetic induction is more. If you go from the coil towards left or towards right, magnetic induction decreases drastically, but it will not follow a linear graph. It is a non-linear. Next one problem. So according to the problem, a 2 ampere current is flowing through a circular coil of radius 10 centimeter containing 100 turns. Find the magnetic flux density at the center of the coil. So given data, current, radius of the coil, number of turns. So if you write one by one, first solution, given first current I 2 ampere, radius 10 centimeters. So be careful, here it is given in centimeter and ampere is SI system of units. So here centimeter centi we can write as 10 to the power of minus 2, then it will be in meters. So 10 to the power of minus 2 meter. So 10 into 10 to the power of minus 2, nothing but 10 to the power of minus 1 meter. Next, number of turns 100. Now we have to find out the magnetic flux density, that is B. So that is at the center. So formula, magnetic induction at the center of the coil B equals to mu naught Ni by 2R. If we substitute all the values, here mu naught value they did not give, but we have to remember, but in general they will give in CBSE examination and entrance examination, they will give. So that mu naught value 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7 and N 100 into I value, current value 2 ampere by 2 into R value 10 to the power of minus 1 meter. So here 2 get cancelled, and further 10 to the power of minus 1, if you shift to numerator, it will be plus 1. So minus 7 plus 1, so it will be minus 6. So 4 pi, so 4 into 3.14 into 10 to the power of minus 6 into 100. So 10 to the power of minus 6 into 100, nothing but 10 to the power of minus 4. So finally 4 into 3.14, nothing but 12.6 into 10 to the power of minus 4. So units will be Weber per meter square or Tesla. But 10 to the power of minus 4 Tesla means 1 Gauss. So we can also write like this: B equals to 12.6 Gauss. That is in CJ system. Next, problem 2. The magnetic induction at the center of the circular current carrying conductor of radius r is BC. Radius r they mention. The magnetic field on its axis at a distance r from the center is BA. So here distance x also they mentioned as r. So radius r, distance also r, but values they did not give, they mentioned with symbols, asking the ratio of BC by BA. So for that, given data, if you write radius r they mentioned and the magnetic induction at the center mentioned as BC, at a particular distance r they mentioned as BA. So now we know that magnetic induction at the center of the current carrying conductor, that is BC, expression we know, that is mu naught I by 2r. So here number of turns they did not mention, that means one turn, so mu naught I by 2r. But at a particular point, the magnetic induction at a point on the axis, distance they mentioned r, x equals to r. So if you substitute instead of x r, then mu naught I r square by 2 into r square plus instead of x also r, so r square. So resultant is r square plus r square, 2r square. So 2r square whole power 3 by 2. Further, if you write whole power 3 by 2 at the denominator as individually 2 power 3 by 2 r square whole power 3 by 2, then you will get the expression like this. So mu naught I r square as usual at the numerator, denominator 2 into 2 power 3 by 2 r square whole power 3 by 2, r square square and 3 by 2 2 get cancelled, then r cube. So again r square cube get cancelled, denominator only r will be left out. So BA equals to mu naught I by 2r into 2 power 3 by 2. So now the ratio BC by BA equals to, so BC we got mu naught I by 2r and BA mu naught I by 2r into 2 power 3 by 2. So here mu naught I get cancelled, mu naught I, and 2r get cancelled, then only thing left out to 2 power 3 by 2, it is denominator to the denominator, it will go to numerator. So therefore BC by BA equals to 2 power 3 by 2. This is the answer. Thank you, one and all.